Ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. My name is Harande Eli, Operations Manager at Caribbean Prestige. And my task tonight is simply to say thank you. I had a little speech written out and tweaked. Thanks for the help, Wendy. But as I looked at it over the last 20 minutes, I kind of felt like this is easy because this is what we do. This is what we are. And when I say we, it's not just Caribbean Prestige, but we as Trinis. Carnival, Soca Monarch. Soca Monarch without Carnival, it doesn't work. Take for a second and imagine there's an announcement in the morning, next year, there's no Carnival. That is depressing. So with that in mind, I want to say thank you to a few special people, organizations, entities that make this possible. Initially, I had at the end to thank Mr. William Monroe. But listening to some of the folks speak earlier, I think it's impossible to leave him for last, so I want to put him first. So before I say anything, we just stand and give Mr. William Monroe and Ms. Karina Suku a round of applause, please. This is the 22nd launching of the International Soca Monarch. Anybody working on a project, business, a task, 22 years is a long time. That sustainability doesn't just come overnight. Earlier this afternoon, we was in the office. He was there. He was like, Mr. X, get invite. Mr. Y there. Let's be practical. You're supposed to know. If you know the manual, you know the terms. And he said, I come number for you, you know, not them. Get it done. Don't get an excuse. So imagine that drilling, and then Karina now, with a bit of grace, say, don't worry, just stay true to yourself and do what you do and you'll be all right. So with that said, I just want to highlight the template and perfection that they have laid for us to make it easy for us to own it and take it to the next level. With that being said, that vehicle would not be possible without our sponsors. From inception, sponsors like Carib, Flavor Right, NLCB has been our backbone. Not so old sponsors, but just as treasured, Digicel, Hyatt, Blue Waters, Prodigal Son, in terms of Answer Automotive being back on board this year, and all of the other sponsors that work tirelessly with us, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for us being who we are. The media. I want to say special tribute to the media tonight because without the media, we would not be illuminated the way we are. And when I say we in terms of the soca artists, but the soca artists represent us. They tell our story. They soothe our problems. Mr. William Monroe has a term that he often says, I know people going Soca Monarch old and come out young. You know, so to the media and the way that you do your thing now across the board, special shout outs to our official media partner, Guardian. A round of applause tonight. The government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I want to say a special thank you to you ministers in the house tonight. You have afforded us the opportunity to say that we are number one. I've been to other launchings and events and people say, this is one of B. Being able to say this is not an easy task. For that, I want to say thank you. You've enabled us to be able to compensate our artists by almost 3 times as the nearest competitor over the carnival season. Without you, that can't be done. So ministers, thank you. Our artists themselves, as I said before, your heroes, our storytellers. And as my wife mentioned once before, in terms of stress release, there's nothing like a good soca song to put you back in the mood. There's so many dynamic things that you guys do for us and represent us, not always getting what you deserve. Because sometimes if you look at certain artists at an international level that may not have half the talent of a Marshall, a Bungie, in a short period of time, there's a big jump. But again, as Mr. Monroe always says, let's take our thing, make it important, pay them well, let's build it. So artists, I know it's not easy in terms of the journey, in terms of the recognition, but again, with the continued support of all of our partners, we're going to get there. Thank you. By now, we're usually halfway through our speeches. This is part of the new, and I'm the last speaker, so it's time for drinks just now, right? Which is a good thing. I want to give a round of applause to the hard-working team that put the venue together. I also want to say a special thank you and pay a bit of tribute to Mr. Peter Schoon. Sometimes I call him the spook. He's always in an event, tucked away in a corner somewhere, making sure things are happening. A very visionary person. Under his stewardship, I'm certain that Caribbean Prestige has a long way to go in terms of the sustainability for the company, artists, the sponsors, and our culture. And for the rest of our team, from the sponsors, the fans, this is who we are, and this is the International Soca Monarch. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Our program has ended. We now invite you for cocktails and, network, and let's have a good time. Thank you very much for coming, and do enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
This one going and fog up the place.